Oh boy, Laura could not help hiding her unhappiness when Heidi Klum put out this week's task. In episode 7 from Project Runway Season 9, 10 participants were asked to form two groups of 5, designing fabrics, creating a collection, and producing a fashion show. As what the title of the show indicates, this week's show reveals how people work with each other and get the balance between cooperation and competition. As fashion designers, these people get used to the quietness and freedom of working alone. They seem to be confident enough to throw away the cooperation brings success. Teamwork is not easy for these talented but proud designers, as they do not want to be disturbed by others. In this episode, how they face this challenge reminds us the old saying, that attitude determines everything. At the beginning of this episode, 10 participants were surprised and disappointed when they heard the host give out the requirement grouping 5. Some of them were not pleased to work in team, as Becky said, not looking forward to it. They felt like working with others would cause disadvantages to their own performance. They did not want to share their own creation or idea with others. Some of them were not satisfied with the arrangement, like Bert complained that it is not a group that I will enjoy working with. They were not so sure if they could get along easily and finish the task successfully. Before starting their teamwork, these designers have already shown their unhappiness to cooperate, and this attitude will have a huge effect on their performance later. Joshua, Becky, Bert, all in one team, that's a disaster. Anya directly exposed what could happen in group nuts and bolts. They have too many different ideas, and what happened in episodes before had formed their discontent and prejudice about each other. Then they brought these negative feelings about others from personality to ideas. It was not hard to find out members of this team lack enthusiasm to work together. In group discussion session, everyone was impatient and careless when others were talking about their idea. Joshua always cannot wait to exhibit his talent. He believed his thoughts were the most unique and amazing, but others did not think so. Laura's facial language told her disagreement, while Bert said nothing but just shaking his head. It was not the most ideal situation. When doing on their fabrics, they continued talking in a very unfriendly and cold way, which did no good for group working. Joshua still makes strict comments on others' idea and ignore their own thoughts. Others, however, did not say out their true feeling but just compromised. Without efficient communication plus a positive attitude, their situation went worse and worse.
They're in there, but I'm just waiting.
Should we vote on what we feel should be the most...
There must be a collapse when things went to explain step by step. The two main characters of group nuts and bolts, Joshua and Bert, brought up a conflict, and this clearly proved a negative attitude would stop progressing.
3-5. Okay, 3-5.
So much for my freaking clocks.
So much for your what?
Clocks and get printed.
What did you say? I feel people that have dirty mouths, they're not intelligent. Bert, is this the undertones that people are talking about on the runway, where you walk away and say things under your breath?
No,
because I will.
Josh,
I
don't
will
go
not
there.
stand for it.
Josh, what I was saying was...
I'm asking you if this is how it's going to be for the next 2 days, because I will not have it, Bert. Don't get close to me. I need you to back.
Bert said some swear words about his work and Joshua got really angry. Things suddenly broke up. Divergence and contradictions finally turned into a fight. Bert tried to make up the situation, saying, "Joshua, you are overreacting." However, no one was prepared to face that Joshua refused the consolation and left the room. Bert crumpled his paper. Laura went out to talk to Joshua. She persuaded Joshua to get back to work, as she said that they had to work together, had no choice. Later, everyone seemed to realize the importance of their attitude to the teamwork. Joshua, too, made an open apology to Bert. They tried to fix, but their negative attitude have already caused irreparable damage to the progress of team working. They were passive to move forward together. Their personalities led to the difficulty of cooperation between them, although they did work as their plan. One's own attitude decides his behavior. If we would make deeper analysis of the characteristics of Joshua and Bert, we would understand why Joshua and Bert act like that. Joshua was aggressive, self-centered, and proud. He always showed off. He liked making comments on others' work, even though these comments were harsh and unacceptable. We could even find out narcissism from this character. After Tim put out his thought about Joshua's design and criticized about their teamwork, Joshua felt very disappointed about his performance. Everything became reasonable when he talked about his family background. Coming from a very humble family in Midwest, Joshua worked very hard to support his dream. He lost his mother 2 years ago, could not return home during holiday, and pretended to be good when calling his father. Life was not easy, and this caused Joshua to be very sensitive and stressed. He wanted to succeed so much that made his attitude finally go to extreme. Bert, however, talked less and always compromised. As the eldest participant, he needed to spend more time getting along with these young people. He did have many opinions, but sometimes he just kept them in his heart. He seemed always to be the one who was left out and get ignored. As happiness and sadness can be contagious between people, our attitude will also leave impact on others. When Group Nonsense both fell in an awkward situation, Group Chaos told us that a correct attitude brought close cooperation. In their group discussion, we could conclude that they were enjoying their teamwork from their conversation. That's cool. That's so beautiful. It is exactly what I'm thinking. These words indicated that Group Chaos shared the same idea and could easily finish their work plan. They were working in a relaxed and natural atmosphere. Like Anya said, I'm really happy to be in a group that is harmonious. Everyone was happy and excited about their cooperation. When they were doing on their fabrics, Group Chaos continued smoothly. They were in high spirit. They worked very carefully and gave out their opinions in a positive way. In the final fashion show, their work also showed that they were well coordinated and united. As what we inferred, Group Chaos won, and this again emphasized a positive attitude will change everything. In most situations, like what happened in this show, we have no choice about our classmates, our colleagues, or our partners. Sometimes it is common to work with people we don't like and even follow their directions. However, as long as we are in the same group, we should reduce our personal feelings to work for the whole team. If you keep holding the belief that we could not cooperate, we hate each other, then you will not win as a successful team worker. From this episode, we could find out that as an individual, we easily ignore our impact on others. A word or a facial expression will affect the whole group's mood and may directly determine the final result. In all, if you want to achieve your goal, hold a positive attitude first.